And welcome back to our live broadcast here from the Cisco TV studio, coming to you from the hub here right next door to the world of solutions at Cisco Live Barcelona 2020. What an incredible day it's been. I hope you have been having half the fun that we've been having here at the show. And if you haven't been having half the fun, or maybe it's a little more than half, get down here to the conference so you can be a part of it with us. My name is Steve Mulcher. I want to remind you to keep reaching out to us utilizing social media, hashtag CLEUR. We want to hear from you, and we will keep responding back to you. We have just come out of our final innovation talk of the day. Our own Ash Devada, head of products at Duo Security. We heard so much about what Cisco's user-centric zero trust security platform is all about. Duo is so powerful. It's a more recent addition for us here in the Cisco platform, but we are protecting access to all of that sensitive data at scale, all users, all devices, all applications, and it's a great launch into our final event here at the day and some of our final conversations, and I've got the best person here to continue the security conversation with, our own Ben Monroe, Senior Director of Security Marketing with us here at Cisco. You and I have had, a good half a dozen opportunities to talk with one another over these different events.
If we're not showing our age, sure, I'll go with half a dozen. Good to see you again.
Show our age. We're feeling young, we're vibrant, we're energized. If this event isn't going to do it for us, I don't know what is. Thank you. I know you've had a huge day already, and I'm so glad to have you here in the studio with us. So, Ben, we've really, if you think about it, we've reimagined the network, we've changed the way that business is working. Now, our Cisco platform is doing that really good heavy lifting for security, making sure that every solution works together with every other solution as a team when it comes to security. We want them to learn from each other and listen and react in coordination. So let's talk a little bit about what we just heard from Ash, but really what we're doing within the security platform that excites us today.
Sure, Stephen, yeah, when there's a lot going on, right? And I think this idea that you were talking about of security products working as a team is incredibly important. And one of the definitions of a platform is that the various control points, the various layers that you have that contribute have to work together. They have to learn from each other. They have to get smarter because of what they learn. They have to make things easier. They have to give the teams that operate them time back to do important things like threat hunting, policy harmonization, all the work they want to do, but they can't because they're spending their days fighting threats.
Absolutely. Security must feel to you a little bit like the superstar right now. I don't know that there's anything we talk about on the technology side and the Cisco delivery side that doesn't also incorporate elements of security. How do you do a good job of really honing in and making sure that everybody understands the security aspects of everything that we offer here at Cisco?
So I think it's really about getting out of the product level discussions and talking about the outcomes that we're delivering for our customers, the outcomes that they really want. You think about a chief information security officer, and we're going to get to meet one of those in a short while. We're looking at senior executives in companies who want to simplify the experience of security, the way they do it and the way that it's experienced by their organization. They want to help businesses accelerate. They want to help move to the cloud. They want to help free users to become mobile. They want to help with the digital transformation. And they also want to help future-proof, and they want to make investments that are good for the next 5-10 years, that are not things that are going to have to get redone. So you've got these extremely senior, extremely strategic thinkers, and it's our role, if we're going to be the most trusted partner, it's our role to meet them where they want to be, with a platform that helps to deliver those experiences, frankly, on a personalized basis across the different people in their team.
It's a really exciting time for people, I think, because the opportunities are more expansive than they've ever been before. I don't know when we've ever had such a comprehensive amount of elements available to us in technologies and capabilities, but of course the threat landscape continues to extend with each different element that we bring on board within the organization. What do you think is so unique about what we offer here at Cisco with regards to our platform? Everybody offers great security. Go to any event, go to an RSA, go to a Black Hat, and everybody says, we offer the best security out there. What are we doing here at Cisco that's so unique?
Frankly, the number of vendors there are at those shows that you mentioned who are all saying, I have the panacea, I've got the single bullet, that's part of the problem, and reducing the confusion there is part of our job as in the security industry. But to your question about what's different, I think we're combining two really powerful elements in our platform. The first of those is what Ash was just talking about, trust verification, continuous trust verification across the workforce, for the users, you and I coming into work every day, across the workload, so all these applications and them residing in a multi-cloud environment, and then the workplace, the physical location we're at. So that's the first thing, trust verification on a continuous basis. Second element is threat detection. We can't lose sight of that. And we've got Cisco Talos, right? Hundreds of some of the smartest researchers on the planet who are unpacking all these instances of malware that they find, who are reverse engineering, who are really understanding what the bad actors are doing so that we can help to defend, and writing protections into our products that are then pushed out at scale. And platform level advantages and platform scale approach means you're not updating piece by piece, you're actually giving people a consistent layer of protection, whether it's on email, on web, on the network, at the user and device level, and that's where Cisco excels.
What are we hearing from our customers? And like you said a moment ago, we're going to bring up Michael, one of those customers, but what are you hearing specifically as you walk around an event like this and you get the chance to meet with our customers? What are they saying to you?
Sure, some of the things we hear from our security customers are regular and are I want to say depressingly familiar, because the security industry challenges don't go away. Threat landscape gets more and more dangerous over time. Bad actors are better funded. Nation states are better funded and are very agile about the ways they can attack. They've got security infrastructure systems like ours that they test their products against. They're an extremely versatile and agile group of people. The talent shortage is a perennial problem that is actually out of control. Recent data has been published to say there's 4 million unfilled jobs in cybersecurity worldwide. Now there's only about 1.5 million cybersecurity professionals worldwide anyway, so how can that equation balance out? And what it means is we need to drive our platform into more places, more organizations at more size, so that you can do more with your security and you're not reliant on trying to hire more people, because there is no one to fill those 4 million jobs. It's untenable now.
Absolutely. The work that you, Ben, are doing along with the entire security here at Cisco is really such yeoman's work, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about it. The number one threat, you just mentioned the threat vector and how it continues to grow and expand. The number one threat continues to be email. And before you and I get a chance to continue, we're going to actually head out to the show floor. We are going to go over to one of my favorite people who I get an opportunity to work with quite a bit at a lot of different events, Jason Wright. Our own David Dela Cruz is out on the show floor right now with Jason, our own ThreatWise TV host. Can you guys hear me out there?
Yeah. Absolutely, Steve. I'm still down here at the Welder Solutions and the security stand because there's just so much to learn about security. And since we had such a good time with Jason last time, we've asked him back on. Now, Jason, thanks again for joining us.
Thanks for having me again.
Not a worry at all. As you know, we all know, despite the best efforts of the collaboration team, email is still a massive communication tool and remains the number one threat vector for security. Compromises, I suppose. So what has Cisco got in the tool bag, so to speak, to help deal with that problem?
Well, several tools in the bag for sure. I'm going to talk about the most important one, which is our Cisco email security technology. Now, this can be deployed either way, either in the cloud as a cloud-based service, or as an appliance if you have an on-premise type of deployment with Exchange. So either way that you want to roll out your email, we've got you covered, and we have security technologies that are there inspecting all of those emails coming, all of the traffic that gets generated from content in the emails, and making sure that we keep our users safe. So the first thing that I want to talk about is a recent release that we've had that showcases some new features and functionality. So one of these is advanced phishing protection, right? And so phishing is probably one of the biggest threats when it comes to the number one threat vector. So we have integrated our advanced phishing functionality into the product now. So instead of having to roll out additional technologies, this is built in so you don't have to worry about deployment or management of any additional functionality. So we continue to add functionality into these products to keep them very well rounded and protecting that number one threat vector. Now, the additional aspect of this is that we can start to see what's inside the emails. So if there's an attachment that went by that got delivered to an email box, and we didn't know it was bad at the time, but we learned more information about it, then we decide, wait a minute, that's bad. We probably shouldn't have let that file go to that user. We can actually reach back and pull that email out of that user's inbox, whether that's O365 from a cloud or from Exchange on an on-premise type of solution. So either way you want to deploy it, we have that functionality. It's kind of that retrospective detection. And we've also put in some additional infrastructure improvements to be able to do all of this a lot faster so we can reduce that time to detect and time to remediate. Now, the last thing I want to talk about here is that email security is not just a product that you want to use by itself. It's part of a holistic ecosystem of your security technologies, and as such, we want to make sure that it interoperates and communicates with our other security technologies. So if you look at the email security management appliance here, you can see a lot of great information about what we've seen and how our policies work. But we also have Casebook that carries all of the other information from all the other security technologies along with it. That's the beauty of what Cisco Threat Response is bringing to the table. So if I load what's going on with that particular email here, we're running comparisons and correlating information from domains and IP addresses and files and users and where the emails are coming from and going to be able to see this entire view of everything that's going on here. So you have a beautiful view from multiple security technologies, web security appliance, your firewall, Stealth Watch, AMP for endpoints, all of these put together. It's a platform-based approach that makes the difference, and that's what we bring to the table.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jason. I can see you're very passionate about the subject, but we've got a guest waiting in the studio, so we're going to head back to Steve and the customer perspective from there.
Thank you so much, David. Hey, by the way, David, if you're still there with me, if you can still hear me at all, tell Jason that he needs to send his hat back to the studio. I'm not going to accept anything other than the hat. I want it back here. Just let him know. And I'll give it back to him at RSA, okay?
No problem.
All right, cool. Thank you. We are back in the studio now. I've still got Ben Monroe here with us, but now we finally get down to the nitty-gritty and actually put all this into application. Michael Jenkins is with us, CISO from Brunel University. So glad to have you with us. Thank you for being here in the studio.
Absolute pleasure. Delighted to be here today, and yeah, looking forward to this.
You are a little too far away from me, but that's okay. We'll be able to talk to one another. I want to start out with you on this because I want to talk about what your on-the-ground experience is like. We can talk about our security capabilities here at Cisco over and over again. It gets really exciting once they start to get put into application. So let's talk about what your main challenges were and how Cisco has been able to help you begin to address those challenges.
Well, I mean, firstly, when I arrived at the university, I kind of had a vision of what I wanted to design and build. And certainly most of the roles that I'd spent, both in my military career and private sector career, was all about capability development. And quite often I was given a blank piece of paper, given a kind of mission, and then it was about thought leadership and how can we build something tangible. And for me, it was all about a unified cybersecurity platform with the right instrumentation, the right people, the right training, the right processes, and actually trying to get ahead of the game. Because when I arrived there, it was very much standard IT security, but of course we're moving into an area of exponential threats, and we needed to really develop better capability in order to protect our assets, our information and data assets.
So in terms of why Cisco, I was going to save that question for a little bit later. Let's just go ahead and tackle it right up here at the front.
It's a great question, and I went out to the market, spoke with many different vendors, described my vision, my objectives, where I wanted to take the university. It needed some innovative thinking, it needed some very critical friend thinking, as I call it. I needed a critical friend that I could trust, would help me develop what I had in my mind. And in a sense, because I came from the intelligence community, I kind of knew that I wanted compartmentalized intelligence, if you like. Nowadays, we call it zero trust environments. So I knew I needed to build safe data havens, have instrumentation that allowed me to detect, to mitigate, to monitor, to contain. And in effect, in my old world, that was what we term actionable intelligence. And I'm delighted to say that when I got in the room with many different experts from Cisco, they were superb in helping guide the way that I could go about this. And we began to formulate a kind of roadmap. And then it was really down for me to get the investment from the executives.
Sure. Always one of the hardest things to do. I think you're going to be using this whole friend thing a lot in the future. Is it just me?
No, I think the idea that to be a trusted partner is one of the things that just keeps us going, Mick, and one of the things that gets us going and a North Star for us. That's great to hear. The one thing I'm interested in as well, you mentioned executives then. We just did a survey of CISOs worldwide, and it was reported that 89% of CISOs say that executive level buy-in is absolutely critical. So I wonder whether, is that something that's easy for you to do, or is that a difficult achievement inside of an organization like yours?
I think every business, Ben, is different. It's different environments, different executives, different styles with the executive board, and I think the kind of role of a CISO is to break through that and have a conversation and engage with the business in a way that you can show that security, if it's balanced, proportionate, well designed, will give some value back to the business. And clearly it was very important to me as I worked with Cisco as we brainstormed this. It was very important that we became a business enabler, but actually I wanted to take it a step or two further. I wanted it to become a business winner as well. And I think in the world now where we've got different pots of data, personal data, high-end research data that government and nation states either want to attack, or in our case, our nation wants us to defend and protect it. And commercially sensitive data. I think we're in a world now where the executive really do understand that they've got to kind of get ahead of the game. And very interesting, World Economic Forum stating that cybersecurity is one of the top two.
Oh, yeah.
So if that doesn't convert into executive boards, then I'm not entirely sure what it is. But having said that, I think most executive boards take it very seriously. You would expect it to be in the top 3, if not the top 5. Strategic risks, and it's really then for that sort of CISO and that engagement to steer the route and the path towards a better capability to develop and protect.
Absolutely, absolutely. I wish we had more time to talk. I cannot let you go without mentioning one thing for those of folks out here on the stream who have not had an opportunity to meet you. You are a defense intelligence officer. You write spy and forensic thrillers. You live this stuff, which means that Michael, who you've just heard from right now, if he is not the voice to help us tell this story at Cisco, I don't know who is. Michael, thank you so much. Ben, thank you for being here as well. We truly appreciate it, especially here at the end of the day. I hope we'll get a chance to talk more. So in just a moment, we are going to come back and we are going to do our first daily wrap show. We do this at the end of every day. We get some highlights, we get some special announcements that we are here at the show. Before we get there though, we're going to take a very quick look at Cisco Threat Response. It's a key element of our integrated security application platform. It helps to automate integrations across our Cisco security products. Go ahead and check out this video. You're going to see us back right here in 1 minute. Don't go away.